Grab a glass of water before you keep watching, because in the next few minutes you're going to find out why some women over 60 catch every single cold that walks past them, while others seem almost untouchable, like sickness just bounces right off them. And no, it's not their genes. It's not luck either. And it's definitely not because they're spending a fortune on vitamins from some glossy bottle with a celebrity's face on it. It's something far simpler than that. It's something sitting quietly in most kitchens right now, tucked behind the pasta or hiding in the back of the fridge, completely ignored, while people spend real money on pills and powders that barely do half the job those forgotten foods could do for free. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what those foods are, you'll know why they work, and more importantly, you'll know how to actually use them, not just have them sitting around looking pretty. Stay with me because number 4 on this list is the one almost every woman skips without even realizing it, and it happens to be one of the most powerful of them all. So don't go anywhere. Hello beautiful woman, welcome back to Grace Beyond 60, the channel where looking good and feeling good always walk hand in hand, because let's be honest, one without the other never really lasts. If this is your very first time here, I am so genuinely glad you found us. Consider this your new favorite corner of the internet, the place where we talk style, we talk confidence, and yes, we talk health too, all without spending a fortune or making things more complicated than they need to be. Life is complicated enough already, your self-care shouldn't be. And if you've been here with me before, welcome home truly. You already know that we don't do stiff lectures or overwhelming lists here, we do real talk, the kind of conversation you'd have with a good friend over a warm cup of tea, where nothing feels rushed and nothing feels forced. Now before we dive in, if you're new here, just tap that subscribe button sitting right there on your screen. It costs you absolutely nothing, not a single cent, but it means you won't miss out on the tips that could genuinely change how you feel this season and every season after it. No pressure at all, just a gentle little nudge, because I would truly love to have you stick around for more of this. Alright, let's settle in and get into it properly. Body. Food number 1, the orange trap. Let's start with something that might ruffle a few feathers, and that's oranges. The moment a sniffle shows up, or someone feels a scratch in their throat, the whole household suddenly turns into an orange peeling factory. But here's the truth nobody really sits you down to explain. Vitamin C matters, absolutely, nobody's arguing that. But your body can only absorb so much of it at any given time. Eating 5 oranges in one sitting does not give you 5 times the protection. It just gives you a rather unhappy stomach, some unwanted acidity, and possibly a very fast trip to the bathroom. What actually works far better, and what almost nobody talks about, is spreading small amounts of vitamin C-rich foods across your entire day instead of dumping it all in one go. Think a handful of strawberries with your breakfast, a few slices of red bell pepper tucked into your lunch, and a small kiwi as an evening snack. And speaking of red bell peppers, here's a fact that surprises almost everyone I share it with. Red bell peppers actually contain more vitamin C than oranges do, gram for gram, sometimes almost double. Most people walk right past them in the grocery store because they've never been told that. So the real secret here isn't about loading up all at once when you already feel unwell. It's about quietly showing up for your body in small, steady doses, day after day, long before you ever need the extra defense. That consistency is what builds real protection over time, not a desperate scramble the moment symptoms appear. Food number 2, the spice rack secret. Now here's one that tends to genuinely surprise people, and it's turmeric. Not the trendy turmeric lattes you see all over social media with the pretty foam art on top, and not those turmeric supplements sitting in fancy capsules promising miracles. I'm talking about plain, humble turmeric powder, likely sitting in your spice rack right now, half forgotten, maybe even a little clumped together from sitting unused for months. This golden spice contains something called curcumin, and researchers have spent years studying curcumin for its ability to help calm inflammation inside the body. And here's the part that matters most, especially for women over 60, inflammation is often the quiet, invisible reason behind that constant feeling of being tired, achy, or simply run down for no clear reason. It's not always something dramatic, sometimes it's just this low simmering discomfort that becomes so normal you stop noticing it. Adding a small pinch of turmeric to your scrambled eggs in the morning, stirring it into a warm bowl of soup, or mixing it into warm milk with a touch of honey before bed can genuinely make a difference over time. But here's the detail almost nobody mentions, and it changes everything: you need black pepper alongside it. That black pepper isn't optional, it isn't just for taste, it actually helps your body absorb the curcumin properly, because on its own, turmeric is surprisingly difficult for your body to absorb well. Skip the pepper, and you're essentially wasting a good portion of the benefit sitting right there in your bowl. Food number 3, the forgotten ferment. This next one might sound a little strange at first, but stay with me here. Sauerkraut. Yes, that tangy, slightly sour cabbage dish sitting quietly in the pickled aisle that most people walk straight past without a second glance. Here's exactly why it deserves far more attention than it gets. About 70% of your entire immune system actually lives inside your gut, not floating around loosely in your bloodstream the way most people assume it does. So if your gut is unhappy, tired, or out of balance, your whole immune system quietly suffers in the background, even if you never connect the two. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and even plain yogurt containing live active cultures feed the good bacteria living in your gut, and that good bacteria works around the clock, day and night, defending your body from things you never even realize it's fighting off. You genuinely don't need much of it either, just a small spoonful alongside your regular meals, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, can make a real noticeable difference over time. It's such a small addition, yet it's one of those things that quietly compounds the longer you stick with it. Mid-script engagement break. Now quick little pause here. If this is already helping you look at food a bit differently, do me a favor and hit that like button right now, right where you're sitting. It genuinely helps this video reach more women just like you. Women who really need to hear this but haven't found their way to this channel yet. And while you're at it, go ahead and drop a comment below telling me which one of these foods has surprised you the most so far. I read every single comment, truly every one of them, and I love hearing from you. It makes this feel like the conversation it's meant to be. Alright, let's keep going because the next food on this list might just be the most overlooked one on this entire kitchen counter. Food number 4, the one everyone skips. Remember I mentioned this one right at the very beginning? Mushrooms. Specifically, cooked mushrooms, because raw mushrooms simply don't offer nearly the same benefit, and this is a detail most people miss entirely. Mushrooms contain compounds called beta-glucans, and these particular compounds actually help train your immune cells to recognize threats and respond to them faster and more efficiently. Think of it almost like handing your immune system a clear map instead of leaving it to wander around confused, reacting late or reacting to the wrong things. Button mushrooms work well. Shiitake works beautifully too. Even the plain, unglamorous mushrooms from your regular grocery store do the job just fine. Simply sauté them gently in a little olive oil with some garlic, and just like that, you've got a wonderfully simple side dish quietly doing some very serious work behind the scenes while you enjoy your meal. Most people overlook mushrooms entirely because they seem far too plain and unremarkable to matter much, but that very plainness is exactly what makes them so easy to slip into almost any meal without much thought or effort at all. Food number 5, the morning ritual swap. Here's one that involves gently adjusting something you're likely already doing every single morning without thinking twice about it. And that's your morning drink. If you're someone who reaches for orange juice from a carton first thing, I want you to hear this gently, without any judgment at all. Most store-bought juices have been stripped of their natural fiber and are quietly loaded with added sugar, and sugar actually suppresses immune function temporarily, right after you consume it, sometimes for hours afterward. Instead, try warm water with a good squeeze of fresh lemon and a small piece of grated ginger first thing in the morning, before anything else touches your system. Ginger carries natural properties that support digestion and help calm inflammation, and starting your day this particular way before your coffee, before your breakfast, before anything else, gives your body a gentle, kind wake-up call instead of a sudden sugar shock it has to scramble to recover from. Food number 6, the underrated seed. Pumpkin seeds. Small, unassuming, usually scraped out and thrown away the moment someone carves a pumpkin for the season. But these tiny little seeds are quietly rich in zinc, and zinc happens to be one of the most important minerals for immune health, especially as we get a little older, because our bodies naturally absorb less zinc from food as the years go by. A small handful sprinkled over a salad, stirred into your morning oatmeal, or simply eaten plain as an afternoon snack can quietly support your body's defenses without requiring any real effort on your part at all. This is exactly the kind of food that gets ignored simply because it isn't flashy or trendy, but sometimes it's the quiet, unassuming things that end up doing the most meaningful work in the background. Food number 7, the final piece. And finally, garlic. Not the jarred, pre-minced kind sitting in a little tub in your fridge door, but fresh garlic, crushed by hand and left to sit for about 10 minutes before it ever touches the heat of your pan. That resting time matters far more than people realize, because it allows a compound called allicin to fully form, and allicin is where garlic gets the majority of its immune-supporting power. Add it toward the very end of cooking rather than right at the beginning, since prolonged high heat can noticeably reduce its benefits before you even get to enjoy them. It's such a small habit in the grand scheme of things, but small habits, done consistently over weeks and months, are what actually add up in a meaningful way over time, far more than any expensive supplement sitting on a shelf ever truly could. So there you have it. 7 simple foods, all sitting quietly in your kitchen or waiting for you at your local grocery store, all working together in their own understated way to support the one thing that keeps you out there living your life fully, looking good, and genuinely feeling your best, your immune system. None of this requires a fancy budget, a complicated meal plan, or hours spent in the kitchen. It simply requires a little intention, a little consistency, and a willingness to notice the ordinary things you may have been walking past this whole time. If you enjoyed spending this time with me today, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps this channel grow and reach more women just like you. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a single video from Grace Beyond 60. And I would genuinely love to know, which one of these foods are you adding to your kitchen this week? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, and I'll see you in the very next one.